How's it going, guys? I'm Michael. This is Vintage Diesel Equipment Service. Behind the camera is Damon. He'll be joining us shortly. And just behind me is a 1967 John Deere 1020. And what are we doing with it? Today we're going to take the fuel injection pump off. And I'm going to walk you through how to time it so that you can do just that. With that said, Damon, come on in here. Let's show them what we're talking about. What you're looking at is a rotary based injection pump. Some of you might know that there's an injection style pump prior to this that's called an inline. An inline is basically just what it says. It's a very long, I'll see if I can post a picture here somewhere and kind of show you what a inline pump looks like. But essentially, a man by the name of Vernon Rosa decided that he did not like dealing with that long inline pump. I don't blame him. So he decided he would figure out a much more compact, simpler solution, and that is what you have today, known as the Roma Master or the Standardine pump. It's a rotary pump, and so essentially, instead of it being direct in line and a cam rolls over, okay, and tells each injector when to open and close, instead you're dealing with a round rotary based solution, and as the cam turns the gear, then it opens and closes each valve, as you would think. So with that said, this pump here looks like it's, if you want to go into the pump, this pump has already been off. This is actually not the pump this unit came with, or otherwise it would, you know, kind of match the rest of the tractor. So needless to say, this pump's been off in the past. We're going to pull it off again. It's a little hard to get to in this particular position. So with that said, you're going to have to kind of, you know, be creative. But we're going to pull the hood off, and before we do really anything else, we're going to go ahead and spray this thing with penetrating oil while we pull this hood off, which it's already ready to come off and we've had it off. So we're going to set the hood off out of the way, spray it with some penetrating oil while we get everything else set up, and then I'm going to show you how to time this in two different ways. Okay, you can go by what they say on doing it through the port window and whatnot, and that will work. But you don't have to go that far. You can just score the pump and the pump plate housing. Yeah, it's going to do exactly the same thing, okay? It's going to put it back just where it was. And isn't that all you really want? So, and then the only thing you'd have to pay attention to then would be the rod, right? Make sure you have it oriented right. As long as you scored both your injector pump housing and the plate, you just line the marks back up and bang, you're back. But if you want to do it the other way, let's say you're just kind of picky, maybe we can show you how to do that. If we find out that it's going to be difficult to get this engine to roll over in such a manner, we're just going to skip that, okay? And we're just going to do with the scoring. Because why would I do it the hard way? Why would I teach you to do it the hard way? But this does have a hydraulic pump off the snout of the crank, so you can't really put a socket and a bar on it and bar the thing over in your normal way, which only leaves you doing it with a pry bar. Again, I'll look and see if it's going to be feasible. Front end loader is on this thing, so that makes it a bit more complicated. But we're just going to do what we can do. Hang on, let us get set up, and we're going to do just that. So a little humor for you today. I meant to change into my work boots. always change into your work boots. It's sandy around here, and it's really, see that slide mark? If I ain't careful, my fat butt's gonna wind up muddy, and you're gonna know it. So anyway, we're gonna try to get this pump off. So let me see, where can I put you? Where can I put you? Can you see anything there?
No.
Not a dang thing.
I just set it right there.
And yet you're gonna be right in my way. How about, hold on, nope.
Set it right against this.
Well,
that's where I had it before. You can set it right here. It'll pin it down.
Hold on. Quick side note, because I didn't really show you the other way to do this. There is another way, and if you're peculiar about details, maybe you just want to learn the other operating procedure for it. It's like this, okay? The engine is 2-to-1 with the injection pump on these standardized rotary units, okay? And what that's going to mean for you is the engine has to make 2 revolutions, okay, before the pump makes 1. All right? Now, how you time these things, if you don't want to do the way that I did, maybe you're picky. All I can tell you is if you're that picky, you're going to spend more time at this. But if you're that picky, there is an inspection window here. Okay, you're gonna pull that inspection cover off. My way, you ain't gotta bother with this. You ain't gotta bother with the seal. You ain't gotta fight with the frame, trying to get over the near or nothing. But there is a mark, okay, right about here inside this. I'll see if I can post a photo. And then there's this rotary wheel. You know, that's what actually does all the injecting. It also has a score mark. And you turn the engine over until that score mark lines up with the score mark position, you know, your timing mark, and then you're in time. Pull the pump off, put it back. So, but if you do that way, I still recommend that you score the mounting housing and the plate. Trust me, you'll know why if you don't. So, with that said, that was a quick tutorial about how to do it. Like I said, hopefully I'll remember to post a picture of it where you can kind of see, or maybe a little tiny short clip. I don't know. No promises. We'll see. So anyway. All right, folks. So as you can see, we got our pump off. The things to walk you through. As you can see, we had a line, our return line actually was froze up. There wasn't nothing we could do about it. We sprayed it multiple times. It just wouldn't break free. So sadly, the customer's gonna have to get another return line, but that's to be expected. I mean, this tractor is from 1967, y'all. And those lines are probably the originals, even though this pump is relatively modern. I'm trying to look and see. I'm gonna base it on the customer number that this was last serviced on the 8th month of 1999, but I could be wrong about that, okay? So with that said, it's been on there for a number of years. Again, before you go to pull these, spray all of your lines, okay? Trust me, spray them multiple times, in fact. Score the body of your injector pump, okay? Score the plate of the injector pump housing, okay? As you can see, I got a score there. That's gonna, once you go there, okay, that's gonna tell you your clock position. Then, if you'll notice, come out here, son, to the end of this. Okay, folks, there is a little dimple right there, okay? Now, if you look, come back up here to the pump. If you look inside this pump, there is a matching dimple, okay? That is very, very important. As long as you match them two dimples up, you can't be 180 degrees at a time. So make sure when you go back that you do that. The other thing that I'm gonna point out, okay? Whenever you get your pump rebuilt, all right? Wow, if I can get my, all right, we'll have to, actually I don't. We're gonna replace these umbrella seals right where this dude is whenever he gets them, okay? Instead of having to take the shaft out, we'll just go ahead and do it that way. Then we won't even have to mess with it. But you do want to replace these. And if you'll notice, these umbrella seals, they're opposing, okay? And I mean, they do exactly what it sounds like. It creates an umbrella that keeps the oil separate from the diesel fuel, okay? So they're very important. If you tear those seals, you better go get you some more. Don't even try to put it on, because if you do, you're gonna mix diesel and oil, and it's gonna be bad. Do not do that. So, okay, with that being said, we've got this dude off. We're gonna go ahead and, usually I would send this off for repair to an injection pump repair shop. In this particular case, the customer needs to do this on his own instead of having me handle it. And then as time permits, and sometimes this happens, and if you're in this position, look, we work with you folks, okay? Just know that if you need some time in between when we pull it off and when we put it back, we can work with you. We can do it in stages, okay? And that's where this fella here is at. He needs to kind of do this in stages. So just to point it out, yes, we are willing to work when we need to. But make sure you send this off to a reputable injection shop and have it checked. For good measure, you really should be sending your injectors off at the same time. Just get them flow tested. I mean, you could be costing yourself a lot of performance. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and get the hood back on this thing and button up everything and let the customer know his injection pump's waiting on him. So I guess without further ado, thanks for watching Vintage Diesel Equipment Service. I'm Michael. Thanks for watching.